welcome to this special episode of Book for Two. I'm Scott.
And I'm Genevieve. Today, we're giving our official spoiler-free review and rating of Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mas.
We start spoiler-free in case you're still deciding whether to read the book or you're just here to hear us roast fictional gods.
But don't worry, we will have a spoiler section later where we talk about our favorite moments. Yes, Chapter 11, we see you.
And heads up, our deep dive into Bonds of Hercules starts November 13th. So if you plan to read along with us, now's your warning to hydrate, stretch, and emotionally prepare.
Because if you thought Blood of Hercules was chaotic, its sequel said, "Hold my ambrosia."
Before we dive in, quick disclaimer, we are not professional reviewers.
We're just two neurodivergent adults with strong opinions and access to recording equipment. Legally speaking, I think that's all it takes to run a podcast.
So take everything we say, not with a grain of salt, more like an entire shaker.
If you came here expecting polished literary critique, that's on you. That's your mistake.
All right, with expectations appropriately lowered, let's dive into our review of Blood of Hercules.
Let's turn the page.
Okay, let's get into our spoiler-free review. Ladies first.
All right, here we go. When I first read Blood of Hercules, I was in what I would like to call my vibes reader era. There was no highlighting, there was no tabbing, just vibes, reading really fast. And apparently my vibes were extremely hostile because my notes for this were literally not friendly, mean romance, whatever that means, ? Love her snake, cynical. That's it. That was my review for this book. I was distraught. And I'll be honest, I still stand by it. It is cynical. It isn't going to hold your hand or spoon feed you soft moments. It's sharp, it's biting, and depending on your headspace, it can be deeply uncomfortable. Reading it this time, though, especially deep diving it with you, babe, I realized something huge. This book isn't mean to you, it's mean for you. It's a mirror, actually. When I first read it, I was really working hard on not being cynical and not defaulting to those inner monologues, kind of like spiraling into the, what's the point of all of this territory? So when Alexis's voice reflected that same brand of dark humor right back at me, that self-loathing, I recoiled. It was an instantaneous, I'm not like that. But now I can finally laugh with her instead of cringing at her and being upset. That's growth, I think. Healing. But so Scott helped me see that Jasmine Mas isn't writing a straightforward romantasy. I think that's probably what I was looking for when I went into it. Instead, she's dissecting the entire genre and letting it bleed glitter. Every shadow daddy moment, every power dynamic, every awkward non-apology. She's poking fun at the formula while still making you care. And Alexis, I genuinely adore her. She's not the polished, trauma-surviving girl boss in most of the books. She's what comes afterwards. She's messy, she's raw, catastrophically human, Spartan. Her lack of communication used to make me want to yeet my Kindle across the room, but that's the point. She's not healed. She's still surviving. She's still healing, and it's real. Now, let's talk about Nyx. That chaotic, horny little menace owns my entire heart. She's unapologetic, sexuality wrapped in scales and wisdom, and the way she speaks about desire. It felt revolutionary for someone who grew up in the we don't talk about that kind of household, which is what I grew up in. If I felt seen in Alexis's shyness and then liberated through Nyx's honesty, really. And the audio, chef's kiss. The voice acting took Jasmine's chaotic rhythm and turned it into something musical. Though I'll admit, I had to stop and check the physical book more than once to figure out, wait, was that a thought or was that something Alexis actually said out loud? But that's part of the experience. You're inside Alexis's head and it's not always a comfortable place to be. Jasmine Mas hides so many one-liners and breadcrumbs and what seems like throwaway paragraphs. Some SJM level nugget droppage in there. And chapter 11, anyone? This book went from read at your own peril, which is what I rated it before, to a summon it immediately. Top 5 book of the year for me, easily. It's not gentle. It's not tidy. It is brilliant. And I cannot wait to see what kind of divine chaos Bonds of Hercules brings us next.
Very well said. So summon it immediately, huh?
Yes.
Good call.
Right away. Or read it 3 times even. All right. What about you?
Time for my review. Okay. Going into Blood of Hercules, I honestly had no idea what to expect. Jen had read it before, back when she was more of a vibes reader than a deep dive reader she's become. And she told me something about it just fell off. She wanted to know what I'd think. To be real, I wasn't exactly excited to start it. I didn't know how I'd handle the bullying, and I knew nothing about Jasmine Mas's earlier work. I figured it'd be another cut and paste romantasy, same story, new trope, the drill. Then we tried deep dive Metal Slinger first because Book Talk was hyping it like it was the next big thing. And yeah, no. I've never DNF'd a book faster than my life. So when we needed something new, I said, screw it, let's go Greek. At least Greek mythology's always been my thing. And within a few chapters of Blood of Hercules, I was immediately hooked. Like, I didn't even see it coming. The book takes every romantasy trope and just wrecks it in the best way. You've got the poor, scrappy girl who doesn't realize she's the one. You've got the shadow daddies, 4 of them, ready to burn the world down for her. You've got the academy, the masquerade, and the whole romantic starter pack. But what Jasmine Mas does with these tropes, she cranks them so far past normal that it becomes satire. Think any Jason Statham movie. Over the top, like Crank. But highly entertaining. She's not just playing the game, she's calling it out. It's smart, self-aware writing that somehow still hits every emotional beat. And Alexis hurt. She's not your standard FMC. She's not trying to be the badass trauma survivor archetype. She is trauma's aftermath in real time. She's raw, reactive, funny, and painfully real. And this is one of the best portrayals I've read of a neurodivergent character navigating deep trauma and abuse, which has also been verified by psychiatrists and therapists. Her voice feels authentic, unfiltered, and deeply human. And Jasmine's prose, it's wild in the best way. It's chaotic, sharp, and rhythmic. It's like you're inside Alexis's mind. The structure is the storytelling. Every run-on, every repetition, every beat of confusion, it's intentional. It mirrors her neuro-spicy thought process perfectly. That's what makes Jasmine Mas special. She doesn't hold your hand. There's no, hey, did you catch that moment? She trusts you to connect the dots. It's subtle, clever, and layered, like Sarah J. Maas when she hides clues in plain sight. I laughed out loud so many times reading this book. It's funny, dark, emotional, and absolutely unhinged in the best possible way. If we weren't deep diving it for the podcast, I'd have finished it in one day and immediately started rereading. Jasmine Mas shot up my list of favorite authors. Her writing's fearless, it's satirical, empathetic, and bold as fuck. Blood of Hercules gave me everything I wanted in romantasy, humor, heart, chaos, and meaning. This one is an easy 5 stars for me, possibly God tier. I'm still deciding, but it's close. If you have not read Blood of Hercules yet, fix that immediately. Then come join us for Bonds of Hercules on Book for Two.
Possibly God tier?
Possibly God tier. I've never had so much fun with a book.
I can't disagree with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so that wraps it up for our review and rating. If you have not read this book, I hope this moves you towards wanting to read it. And for those of you that have read it, I hope that you've seen the same things that we've seen as well in the book.
Yeah, tell us what you think. How did you feel about this book? Did we touch on the same things that you enjoyed about this book? Did we miss things that you enjoyed about this book? Let us know.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you guys. We have an email, bookfor2podcast@gmail.com. Do not be afraid to contact us. You can talk to us on our Thursday night, 7:30 lives on TikTok. Please, we want to hear from you.
We're also on Discord if you want to join us in that chaos.
All right. So for those of you that have read Blood of Hercules 20 times and those of you that have stuck around and hung out with us during our podcast, we are going to do a quick spoiler moment. We're just going to talk about our favorite moments. We're not going to go through the entire book because that's what listening to the deep dive is for. We're just going to talk about some of the favorite things that we loved. Are you ready, babe?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Welcome to our spoiler section. We are going to talk about the moments that we enjoyed together in this book and our podcast.
We weren't able to hit everything because we would be here forever. So if we missed any of your favorite moments, let us know.
All right, starting with the best scene in the entire book, Chapter 11, the whale scene with Augustus and Alexis.
Oh my gosh, hands down, the best chapter in the entire book. I don't think I've laughed that hard. I don't remember laughing that hard the first time I read it, but I must have.
And what's funny is the video that we posted on TikTok, that's only like a smidgen. Because we were laughing for like a good 20 minutes, and that was just like a 2-minute video.
It was insane how much we were laughing and how much you had to cut from that clip.
Then when I had to speed it up, it made me sound like a dolphin.
With your laugh. Hearing your dolphin laugh. My question is, does anyone want to see us reenact this? We could totally do it. This is screenable. We could make a video of this. I think we could totally do it. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the next one. Sink Monster.
Yes.
That was just a fun moment. It was strange, and it was the first what's happening.
For me, it was the moment that let me know how ridiculous this book is going to be.
Was the sink monster? Because everybody was screaming at nothing.
Yeah, because when she was getting abused by her foster parents, and then she was like, oh, we're harmonizing, and the music was playing, I was like, okay, I know what kind of book this is now. Okay. Because at first, when she met Nyx, it was funny, the interaction.
Uh-huh.
But I just didn't know where we were going with it. And then once we got to chapter 2 and then that happened and the sink monster, I was like, okay, it's this kind of book.
And they were harmonizing while screaming
Yes,
at each other.
yes.
You're like, whoa, this is a whole new kind of book.
But that's what let me know that she's neurospicy. Let me know that we're going to be dealing with someone's mental capacity with trauma, because that is how some people deal with trauma. They disassociate with what's going on. And that way they don't feel the physical pain and have to deal with it in their mind, even though it's obviously still happening. But yeah, that's why I like the way she did this with kind of taking a very serious subject, but also make it into comedy to bring awareness and attention to it.
That I love how you worded that even. Yes.
Yeah. And
Love
then because of this book being a bully book, it made us change our game on our podcast to Who's the Asshole from He Said, She Said, because there was all that bullying. But then towards the end, it petered out because nobody was being mean.
Seems like Patro caught some feelings, so he doesn't want to be an asshole anymore. And he was one of the funnier assholes, at least to begin with. And then Titus took that title over easily.
Then it went from bullying to straight up, I just want to murder her. And then it was, they're still assholes, but it's not funny.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's really
like,
fun. Now you're...
Because then it takes away from the burn factor. It's just murder factor now.
Yeah, now you're just...
Like, how badly does she want to murder?
All right, let's talk about the next thing. Yes, let's talk about Spartan Center.
So what chapter was it when she was in high school and they were watching them on TV?
The third chapter? It was very early on. Well,
that's what gave me the idea for this, because I was like, they would definitely have a highlight show then, wouldn't they? Maybe we should do like a sports center and have the highlights of what the Crimson Duo and the Assembly of Death do against the Titans. And that's where I came up with the idea with Spartan Center.
They had the Spartan Gladiator competition, and that's what it was. And we riffed off of that, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is the game, not Assassin's Whisper.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to work for this.
Oh, God,
so,
no.
yeah, I think Spartan Center was absolutely fabulous. Well done on that one.
Well, we wanted a segment that was specific to this book, just like with Assassin's Whisper, specific to Throne of Glass. This one is specific to Gladiators. And then this also let me be a little bit more creative with our top 5 products.
With our product placement, oh my God, these have been absolutely epic.
But
I have loved these.
I think the finale ended with the best one so far.
By far. I did not see that
The
coming.
Spit Roast 3000.
I didn't see that coming. I hadn't read it. That was...
So we had Medusa's sunglasses.
Yeah.
Then we had the Crimson Duo body wash. What else do we have?
We have Aphrodite's makeup.
Yeah.
line,
Oh,
right?
the skin cream. Yeah.
The skin cream.
Skin cream. We have one more.
Oh man, what was
it Helen? No. It wasn't Helen.
it was
Hermes. Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
The delivery
like
service.
a
or
UPS
something.
service. Those were fun.
Absolutely.
I'm
great.
hoping
I love
that if Jasmine Mas turns this into a cartoon or something like that, maybe she can have Imus and Palace show up for one episode as a kind of a Spartan Center thing, and we can throw a product in there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
You ever
just
turn this
saying,
to a
like,
thing?
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe we could make some.
Yeah. Look, I know I'm not camera pretty, but if you make it a cartoon, I can voice act. Maybe. I'm just saying.
I'm down. All right, let's talk about Fluffy Jr.
Yes, another highlight.
We love Fluffy Jr. Still have no idea what the hell
We
he
still
is.
think he might be a Pegasus. That is our tinfoil hat for Fluffy Jr.
With that whole weird horse, whatever.
Yeah.
And he keeps growing.
And then there's also a mention of something in Bonds of Hercules that we're not going to say, but it also sounds very horse-like. Talking about the legs.
Yes, the legs.
Legs are weird.
All right, let's talk about Mr. Patro.
Yeah, Patro had, up until Titus showed up, Patro had the best zingers at the beginning.
For sure. There was no lead in to any of his zingers either. There was no precipitation to those. She didn't say nothing to preempt them. He was just, why is your face so fucked up?
Yeah. But what's funny is,
Patro?
I don't think that's Patro's nature, because even if you notice at the very beginning, at the one point where she needed to get changed, he was being very nice. He was stepped out of the room. He was like, I'll give you your privacy. But then he would come back with a zinger because he didn't want her to know that he was being nice. And he would be like, I hate you.
It was like, he's, oh man, I got caught being nice.
Yeah. Well, he was.
Now I got to throw a zinger out there. Oops.
Hey, he was just trying to make sure she wasn't trying to take his man.
Hey, that's fair. I'm not mad at him for that. Because every other human girl that they've come across has been all up in Achilles' business. I can't blame the girls for that, because gotta love a man who can't talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that one.
Uh-huh.
No, but what I was really hoping with Patro, even though he went nice, I was still hoping then that their relationship would just still be back and forth zingers.
I'm hoping that it still will be. Maybe in Bonds, it still will be. I hope so. I want them to still have that zing relationship.
That's the thing that I'm missing in some of these romantasy books, is a lot of the FMC and MMCs don't have these great zingers. Yeah, they'll have a few cutesy things here and there that might be funny, but there's no like zingers back and forth. Like
throughout the whole book. Like maybe they'll start out that way
Yeah.
and then somebody catches feelings and now it's not as nice to keep doing that. But I think maybe a bully romance keeps doing that.
now, I'm not saying Patrick needs
Fingers
to keep
crossed.
calling her like ugly or whatever, but he can
Yeah.
still like make fun of her when, like how you and I do, like how we zing off each other all the time. And there's no malicious intent towards it. We don't say anything nasty to each other.
Yeah.
Like I might say something off the wall and you'll be like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah.
And then we'll make
And
fun
then,
of
and
that.
then we'll pretend to
Yeah.
fight.
I feel like that's how the relationship should be.
I think that is how it is.
Yeah. Another funny one. So Nick's was another highlight. And our favorite part was when they were at the symposium and she was high off ambrosia and dancing for the sirens. And then she lifts up her skirt and it's just like a pair of shorts. And Nick's is like, God damn it. I failed you.
It's like she said, what was it? Like you're shaming our house. Something like that. Like you've shamed our family name. That's what it was. You have shamed our family name by being such a prude.
It's so funny.
And then Nick said something about failing her, about not giving her more grief, about being weird. She's, I should have been meaner to you.
Yes.
Like, I shouldn't have let you be this weird.
And then speaking of family lines, my next one is Hades and the helmet. So if you don't have the bonus chapter, this is in the bonus chapter where there's a daddy-daughter moment. And that's where you realize that she is just like him. And it's very cute because they're both neurospicy and she's depressed. He gives her a helmet that helps him out whenever he's feeling overwhelmed with his emotions. And it works. And it's a very cute bonding moment. And I hope everybody gets a chance to read it.
I do too. I absolutely loved it. I loved that she had her own type of sensory deprivation with the tape beforehand. And when Hades was instructed to quote unquote go help her, his thoughts of help were, hey, let's make this a little bit easier so you have more sensory deprivation because what you're doing isn't good enough. And he gave her the helmet, which is just peak. It was absolutely awesome. I love that part too.
Well, that's why I want to see this on TV or in a cartoon because he's also hitting her in the head. He's like throwing
with various objects. Yeah. See, look how protective this is. Like you're totally safe in there.
And then Persephone is, hey, stop terrorizing our daughter. And then she's fine and hits her with a spoon. She's like, give a thumbs up if you're good. And she gives a thumbs up.
I'm totally good. And Persephone's, this is.
Yeah, like, God damn it.
She is her father's daughter. That's how that goes.
That's why I can't wait for Bonds. It's going to be great.
All right.
One of the biggest highlights for two reasons in this book was the massacre, chapter 5. One, because of how insane it was.
Welcome. You're going to be a Spartan. You're really close to immortality. Good fucking luck.
Not only that, but you have 50 fucking people. Basically, you have 40 dead Spartans. You had everyone just ripping each other's shit apart until there's 10 left.
Yeah.
It was like a 30-second all-out brawl.
Do you think it was only 30 seconds?
I guarantee it was quick. It just seems longer in the book because all the details and stuff. I guarantee this thing was quick. And remember, all the mentors were like kneeling in blood because it was so bloody.
Sorry, I just imagined everybody squishing through it and I grossed myself out.
But what we found out later as we started getting deeper into the book was how important this chapter was because there was so many Easter eggs that led up to a lot of the things that happened later on in the book.
Because I had read this back in March, I already knew what the Easter eggs were. So it was really hard not to accidentally. I did accidentally tell you one, but you weren't listening. So it worked out.
Yeah.
I was like, nothing. What?
Okay.
That's
good. Yeah.
It was totally by accident. And I was like, wait, no, it was about her being the Thonic. Because if you paid attention to the exact words in chapter 5, you would know that it was her. But I didn't want to be like, look really hard at these words.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm going to let you get to this. So it was really hard, though.
I knew she was Thonic then. I just thought Drex at that point was also Thonic and that there was going to be like some secret alliance or some shit. There was an alliance between the two, but then once we found out his lame power was just, oh, I can go the distance.
So you thought she was Thonic too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay. All right. I didn't realize that you thought that at the massacre already.
No, I knew that she wasn't going to be like Zeus's or anything like that. I knew she was going to be half Olympian, but I thought for some reason at the very beginning of the book, she was going to be half Medusa, and that's why she was locked up. I thought the whole conspiracy was going to be like Medusa being her mom, but that's when I realized, oh shit, let's go back and look at the family tree. Who the fuck is this missing child? Bada bing, bada boom.
I cannot, man, that was
she's
absolutely.
That's
on what, page 2?
What's funny
the
is,
third?
Hold on. That's what I'm saying. It's just one little itty bitty fucking symbol. You just got to pay attention to it.
No name, just a little symbol.
So I guarantee a lot of people skip over the maps. They skip over this shit because like, I don't give a fuck. And then they'll see these symbols, because that's probably what I did. And it was like, oh, it's just symbols that represent who they are. And I just completely didn't even realize there's no name over this other symbol. Because I was like, fuck
I
it.
even looked at the key to see what each of the little symbols meant. But the fact that there was no name there, and I guess my brain just glossed over it like, that one doesn't matter. And I didn't see it.
All you had to do was pay attention from the very beginning, before the Fate chapter even started, and you would have known who she was.
Know who she is by the title.
What I mean is who she belongs to,
yes.
not who the parents are.
Yes.
We all know she's Hercules. What I mean is who she belongs to.
Yes, because in Greek mythology, who is Hercules?
She belongs to Zeus and a mortal woman, and Hera absolutely fucking hates him.
Yeah. So as a whole,
because she feels betrayed. Because back then, like in this, it's okay for the Spartans to go and bang out everybody because they're trying to increase their numbers, fertility, and all that shit. But in real Greek mythology, they fucking hated it when Poseidon and Zeus and all them would go and fuck mortals. Hera and all them were not bowdy.
Why does this all sound like more patriarchy bullshit?
It is. Every religion is created by man and dictated by man. Why do you think the whole story of Medusa is that way? Do you think a woman created that story? A man created that story. Now, granted, back then, because there's still some controversy of who taught Aristotle and Plato and all them, but there's a lot of talk that the smartest person ever from the Greek times was a woman that taught them everything. But because she's a woman, they nixed her out of history.
What? That doesn't
shocking.
Sound like anything.
Because how dare a woman tell Plato, Socrates, and all these people how to think and how to live when, you know, they're the masterminds, they're the men.
Yeah, we should just be barefoot in the kitchen cooking.
Oh, yeah. It's just
cooking
like
sandwiches.
It's just like that movie. I forget the name of it, but the 3 black women that worked for NASA.
Yeah.
We didn't hear about that shit until just a few years ago. I didn't learn about that shit in school. Did you?
Nope.
Another
Please.
thing that
I was in school in Kentucky and Tennessee. They aren't telling me any of that shit.
That's what I mean. Imagine how much shit that we don't know about in history because they swept it under the rug. Like, I remember watching The Watchmen.
We're actively watching them do it right now.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is I was watching The Watchmen in 2018, and the very first scene was the 1921 massacre in, I think it was Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
Black Wall Street. I didn't fucking know about it. I'm 30-something years old watching this. I'm like, is this real? I literally Googled it.
Had to Google it.
It was real. And I was like, why the fuck did we not learn about this? Because it's a black mark in white history. That's why we sweep that shit under the rug. That's why the people get mad about Christopher Columbus Day still.
Ooh.
You can definitely eat a dick.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, seriously, we murdered like civilizations just to live here. Anywho, moving on. So, speaking of shitting on men, I'll just say everyone's favorite quote in this book.
A man was talking, so I stopped listening. I'm turning that into a shirt and into all kinds of merch.
I'm surprised it's not one yet.
I couldn't find one. I actually couldn't find anything.
Well,
Jasmine.
In her defense, she's still new.
Jasmine, can I make something? Please. Okay. All right. Love that line. Love the other men bashing lines too. Don't get me wrong. And then let's talk about this next one. This was, I would say, one of our first, I don't want to say it's one of our first, but it was another great indicator of just how funny and great this book was really going to be towards everyone. Is while she was healing and being mended, somebody was talking to her and she just flips him off.
Yeah, I was laughing my ass off when that happened.
Oh,
just picturing it. That was a good time.
Woo! Love it.
Yep. And then next highlight is definitely Poco, which was weird because during the first couple chapters, we were talking about, oh, if you had an animal protector, who would it be? And I said red panda. Then you were like, oh, just wait. And then here comes Augustus with a raccoon.
And of course, you picked him to cosplay too. And so we got the raccoon for you. I absolutely love Poco.
I told you a little story about my life of raccoons. I've always been obsessed with raccoons, especially as a kid. I used to draw raccoons a lot, like cartoon raccoons. Think Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, even though I never read a Guardians of the Galaxy comic in my life. But I'd always draw like a badass raccoon with like guns, like cartoonish. Because like Darkwing Duck and all that shit was big back then.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
But yes, I was obsessed with raccoons, favorite animal back then for sure. And I realized, why do people like raccoons? Because they look like little bandits, little masks. And what does a mask do? I was masking my whole time back then, thinking I was normal. So it's weird subconsciously that I was drawn to a raccoon. So I think the right cosplay, hopefully, because they ended as dicks, the professors. I'm hoping Augustus redeems himself in the next book, and then I won't be too mad about the cosplay.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. That was a hell of a wig redo for Augustus to suck after this. I'm going to be real mad.
Definitely. So we got our very first spicy chapter on our podcast.
I know. That's so exciting.
That was fun.
I enjoyed that.
And it wasn't too spicy. It was spicy. There was some butthole licking. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I mean, we did talk about balloon nuts quite a bit.
Yes. And definitely a lot of dick talk on this podcast for sure.
Yes. Lots of dick talk, drawing
Chubs,
of dicks.
all kinds
Chubs.
of
Lots of
chubs.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. All right. So we are going to end this segment with talking about favorite characters. So if you had to pick just one character from this book to your favorite, who would it be?
It has to be Nyx. Nyx is my favorite. She's liberated and sassy and murderous and defensive, ready to protect Alexis and Charlie. She's always there. I just like everything about her. It's a really close race between her and Alexis because I love Alexis's, I'm about to fuck your shit up now. Like, you done fucked up and I'm going to make you regret everything you've just done. So I appreciate that side of it, but Nyx has just been spicy and fun the whole time. I'm going to go with Nyx.
Okay.
All right. What about you?
Alexis for sure. I've never connected with an FMC. I'm not trying to say because I'm a guy and she's a girl. What I'm saying is like emotionally and felt like I could relate.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I was actually able to relate because she is like me, neurospicy. I'm not genius level like she is, but we have the same sense of humor. Definitely deal with trauma almost in the same way, I'd say. But yeah, she is easily top FMC for me, and I can't wait to see how powerful she becomes. I still think she has a third Olympian power.
I am super excited to find out if she has a third Olympian power. That's going to be awesome.
Yep. All right. So this will shut it down for our spoiler section and for our review and rating of Blood of Hercules.
I love it.
Okay. So again, November 13th, Bonds of Hercules premieres. We are super excited. So great turn the page.